Hello everyone, welcome back to Crafts by the Bow. Today I'm continuing to use my paper pumpkins up. Now this is the one from March 2025 and I did do a video where I made just these two cards. So let me just show you those. So these are the two cards that I made originally. I didn't make this blue one and I do have enough pieces left to make that. But I'd already made another alternative to the cards. So let me just show you what I had made. And it was a scrapbook layout. And you can see I used the daisies and some of the little bees and even some of the card base here and across here. So I have made one alternative project, but I wanted to make another one. I've only got little scrappy ends, bits and pieces, some of the envelopes, not an awful lot left. When I looked through the box earlier, you can see I've got pieces of things and I've got some of the flowers, I've got the odd card base. I didn't use many of the envelopes, so I have a few of those left. But what I've decided to make was a simple gift card that I'd actually made before in one of my monthly card classes. And we'd made it using the Memories and More pack here. And as you open it, you get a little, like a little envelope almost that opens. And you pop your gift card in here. Or you can put cash in or just a little sweet note. So I'm going to make this and I'm going to use one of the card bases. So I've got all my numbers down here and I had to change them because the size I'd made this for the inside piece, I didn't have enough card base left. So let me show you how I did it. Let's get my scoring tool and paper trimmer. I have two of the blue bases left. And just one of the sort of the white and gold. That won't be enough to make this whole gift card holder, so I decided to pop that on one side. If you only have one card base, you could always add like a basic white or a matching coordinating cardstock in it, but I'm going to use the blue ones. Now these are already pre-scored and they're not scored in the right place. So that score line will appear on the back of your card, on your gift card holder here, but that's not going to bother me. So base is 8.5 by 5.5, just plain, simple, half a sheet of card. It needs to be scored at 2.5 inches. So let's pop that in. And 6.5. And I know that this is 8.5, so actually I'm just going to turn it round and score it at 2. That would be exactly the same as scoring at 2.5 and 6.5. Okay, so we're ignoring this score line that goes down the middle. Just pretend it isn't there. Now I'm going to get my bone folder. And what you can do is just rub a little bit of it out with a bone folder or like a stamp block even. It will still appear, but it's on the back. I'm not going to be too bothered. You could always add like a little decoration over it and like a little ribbon or something. That would work. Okay, so the two new scores that I've just made, I'm going to fold those over. Like this. And you can see that when it's closed, the one side, which will actually be the top, it overlaps slightly on the bottom. And that's exactly how it's meant to be. While I'm cutting and scoring, I'm going to do the inside part. I'm going to do this little piece. And at my class, that was the piece that we made a little bit bigger. But this will still work. It's only the length of it that's changing. So if you're one of my ladies who's already taken my Memories and More class, you can still make it. It's just because I want to use a card base. And I'm going to cut it in half to start with, down that score line, because then I can use this piece for a card layer with the rest of my daisy set. Okay, so I've now got a piece that's 4. Well, I will have in a minute when I chop it. I've got a piece that's 4 by 5.5. Yeah, okay, let's throw that piece away. And we're going to score this at a 1/2 inch and 3 3/4. So we're going to turn it long ways. We're going to score at 1/2 inch and 3 3/4. And I think that's pretty much all I need at the moment. So let's pop that down. Now, for this, it's going to go inside, and let me just take it out and show you. The 1/2 inch piece is going to be attached to the front of the gift card holder. So what we need to do is sort of make a Z fold of it. We're going to take that smaller score, fold it backwards, and then this goes up. Now, if you want to have it so the blue is on the outside, which really I would prefer too, I'm going to fold this one down and this one back, so that when it's in the holder, it will look like this. We'll have white here and the blue on the front. So it's just a really simple kind of a Z fold. So if you've got the white facing you, fold that one back, that one up. I am going to just give those a burnish as well. Okay, so that's all our cutting and scoring for the bases. Now, we're going to do a design on the front, and what I'm going to use, instead of designer series paper, I'm going to use some of the envelope, I think. So I do need to get that cutter again. Okay. And I always start by cutting the envelope flap off because that's already scored, and I don't know if I need it this time, but I'm going to just chop that off. And I want to have this piece sort of on the bottom here. And what I need to do is, when you look at the back of the envelope, you see where this is glued. You can undo that. I find it really fiddly. I just trim a teeny weeny bit off each side, and then the envelope opens up perfectly. So I'm just going to take literally, like I don't know, a 1/16 of an inch even off. Smallest I can get away with. Okay, so those bits we don't need. And then when you open that up, you get a nice edge, and you're not trying to, tear this apart. This bottom piece is what I want for the bottom here, and I might do it sort of as a double tone on tone here. Let me just see if that would be big enough. Might not, because of this little floral element here. So I'm going to take the bottom piece. Let's just cut down and get rid of that score. And I'll make the bottom piece first. So the lower piece needs to be 5 1/4. And at the moment this is 5 1/2. So I'm just going to cut it down to 5 1/4. I love using envelopes for designer series paper and things. I think it makes it look really pretty. And then this, let me see, I need it to be 1 3/4. I don't think I'll get all of that flower in at 1 3/4, no. So I'm going to just trim that piece off, and then I'm going to cut this down to 1 3/4. I lose a little bit of the leaf, but I'd rather lose the leaf than the floral element. So that's 1 3/4. These pieces I might just pop back in my box. I might need them for different projects. So this is the piece that's going to go on here. Let's just, oh, that's really pretty tone on tone. I do like that. And then I'm going to use the top of the envelope to make the top piece of designer series paper. So this one, front top, it needs to be 5 1/4 by 2 1/4. So I'm going to cut it down to 2 1/4 first, and then I'm just going to trim from both edges. So 2 1/4. And you can see where I've got a little bit of the flap there. I don't want those. So I've got 1/4 inch to play with, so I can take just a little bit off each edge, just to get rid of that, just to smarten it up really. So 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. Let's trim this right down. There's no pattern to worry about on this piece. So, okay. Now, if you hold it up to the light, you can see these envelope pieces, but mine's going to be glued down and you won't see anything. Okay, now I'm just going to reach my glue, so just excuse me for a moment. Okay. Right, let's put that down and let's attach these. So here's our gift card holder. Larger flap is on the top, and so I'm going to attach this just like that. So just a little border all the way around. I'm just going to pop over with my bone folder just to make sure that I've got no edges. I think it's about time to move the blade round on my trimmer. I like to turn them round every now and then so that, you know, I get the most use out of it. Okay, let's pop this here. And just make sure that border is level all the way round. Okay. Now, this one is going to go on the bottom, but I want to have a little bit more decoration on it. So I'm going to use one of the stamps. These are the 2 stamp sets that came with it. I'm going to use this little hello, and I'm just going to stamp very lightly. Let me find where that is. And let me see. I could stamp in the Lost Lagoon, which is the ink spot that came with this, but I'm going to stamp in Versamark. I don't want it to be very dark. I don't really want it to show too much. Let's just see. Now let's just get a piece of that paper back and see how that looks. Now that's about as dark as I want it. I just want it to be a slight image on the back, so Versamark would be great. And I'm just going to pop this hello on. You could do like a floral element. You could leave it plain. If you've got a patterned designer series paper, then you probably wouldn't need anything. Let's just clean that off. Let me show you how it would have been with the Lost Lagoon. I know it's a much darker ink, and it's sort of darker than I want. Even the second generation is dark. So I don't want it as dark as that. While I'm here, I might just put a couple of the little honeycomb pieces on as well. Again with the Versamark. I love that Versamark sort of always shows up so that it's the same colour as the cardstock. But I just don't want much of it at the moment. Just do a little couple of sort of bits that go off the page. That's all I need. There we go. Oh, let's just do another one over here. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Just gives a little bit of a, you know, a touch of a pattern. Right, now I'm going to stick it onto here. So now it'll go at the bottom. Let's pop some glue on. And let's just attach it. Like this. And then I'm going to glue these edges down so that this makes a pocket for that little gift card holder to sit in. So I only need a little bead of glue. You could use a tear and tape, but I I just don't need much, and I've got this glue in my hand, and it's only down the sides. We want the top to be open. So let's just pop that like that. I'm just going to go over just to squash it in. There we go. And I don't know if you can see the little hellos and the honeycomb showing up. It's just subtle. Right, so let's pop the little piece inside. So here's that other piece that we cut in that lazy Z fold. I'm going to attach this piece to the inside, and I'm going to put it right up on this top one with this edge just about hitting that fold line. Ooh, do you know what? Before I do that, no, it doesn't matter. I was going to glue the sides, but no, it doesn't matter. I can do it this way. Okay, so I'll just turn this round, and that edge that I've glued, I want to sort of get it in the middle. Just going to eyeball it really and push it down towards that score line. It doesn't want to be going over the score line or the card won't close properly. So I'm just going to fold that. I'm going to just press it down, and then I know that this is going to work to open and close for my gift card holder. And I'm going to glue this edge up as well, just the same way that we did the main pocket on the card. Little tiny bit of glue. Don't make your glue go too far into the middle, or you won't get a gift card in it. Let's hold that. I feel like I'd like to put something on there as well, but because it goes in and out of here, let's just do that, because it goes in and out, you won't see much of it. I wonder if I can just trim this envelope flap down. I bet you I could. Let's take that out. It'll just give it a little bit of a pattern. Something 3D would stick and it would catch on it, but I don't think this would. Well, let's see, what do I need lengthwise for this? The designer series paper for in there would be this 3 3/4 by 1.5. Let's see where 3 3/4 gets us. I'm going to try and take a little bit off each side. I really want this middle flower, so I'm just going to take a little bit off. I'm going to turn it round so I've got it against a straight level piece. Okay, let's take this to 3 3/4. Okay, and it needs to be 1.5. At the moment it's more. I'm just going to trim across here to make it straight. And 1.5. So this can go just in there, look, like that. When it's in the pocket, let's see how much. You would only see a little bit of it. What's it like upside down? No, I don't like it upside down. I'm going to do it this way. Oh, it's got the envelope glue there. Oh, that's okay. Oh, it would be nice up there too, look. Never mind, I've done it here now. It would have been pretty on there. Okay, so then we'll tuck that right inside, and oops, that's not quite glued yet, but that's where our little gift card is going to go, or the money, or as I say, just like a little note that you could put in. There we go. I'm going to push that down with my bone folder. Okay. And then let's put something on the top here. Let's get rid of those pieces. You could put something like that over the front, but I've got one of these pieces left over. And so I thought I might just put that on here, and I'm going to put it on with some dimensionals, just to make that stick up a little bit. I have to put some small ones on as well, I think. Let's find the tiny ones. Just on like these little leaves, just to keep it all standing up and not squashing. You could pop this in an envelope, or you can just give them, you know, just as a gift card. It's a really versatile little gift card holder, and I often make them with like Christmas papers as well, because it's an easy one to gift. Let's find a poker tool, excuse me. Take all these off. If you had some of the longer strips of like foam adhesive, you could cut those out too. I think it actually came with some, these kind of things. You can cut little tiny pieces if you don't have like the small dimensionals. Or you could cut the larger dimensionals in half too. Okay, so I'm going to put this right across the middle. Make sure that it's nice and level. Pop that away. And then I have one little bee left, and I thought I might just pop him down here, also sort of on dimensionals. So I just want something to go across the bottom. So let's pop him on. That one might be too big for him. Let's try little ones. There we go. Take those little top pieces off. If you had more, you could put, you know, bees up here. You could pop some more flowers on. I only have really big flowers left. Oh, apart from this one. You know, you could add something like this as well. If you didn't have the envelopes, you could put another flower down there. And I'm just going to pop this here like this. Okay, and so that's it. That's my really quick, easy, go-to gift card holder. So pop your little gift card in there. Simple. If you wanted to get rid of this, like I said earlier, what you can do is, I don't have any ribbon on my desk at the moment, but you could put a little piece of ribbon across so that it ties underneath that, just with a little bow. Let's just pop a little bow in there, just so that you can see what I'm talking about. I always have to tie mine upside down, so for them to look like a bow anyway. Okay, so if we put that there, it would be better with a ribbon, just because the ribbon is a little bit wider. I just don't have one on my desk. So I'm going to cut those tails down. And then I'm going to put this over the top. Move that bow along so I know I can see it. Pop it over the front as well there, like this. Okay, let's just leave that there. Okay, so we could fold it, and then if it was ribbon, can you see how it would go over and you wouldn't even be able to see that fold, that because we used a card base. So there we are. That's my little gift card holder for today, and my second alternative to using the Daydream. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you'll give the gift card holder a try. See you all again very soon. Bye bye.